Hello, good morning everyone. So welcome back. As you know that we were studying chapter number 4 of history, in which we were studying about the Indus Valley civilization. As you know that we have completed the chapter. Now we will take a very quick revision from the very first chapter to the fourth chapter. We have seen that in history we have a series of events. We have a series of events in which we have to connect one event with another, right? So we have seen from the first chapter that from where our history had been started. In our class we are studying about the ancient history. हम ancient history की study कर रहे हैं, right? So we have seen that the second chapter was the earliest society. In earliest society, we have seen how the early man had started emerging, right? We have discussed about its existence. In our third chapter, the first farmers and herders, we have seen the Stone Age. In the second chapter itself, the earliest society, we have seen the Stone Age. We have discussed about the Paleolithic, Mesolithic and Neolithic age, or overall the Chalcolithic age, Copper age or the Metal age, in which we have seen the transformation of one stage from another. After that, we also have discussed about who was the first farmers and the herders. We have discussed about in chapter number 3. As we came on chapter number 4, so we have seen that in third chapter itself, we had made villages. We had created villages, we had tribe, we had a head in our family, we have an organized family and an organized system. Right? Now, what happened when we had started to make a proper urban area? We have started urbanization. जैसे जैसे हमने urbanization किया, so we have seen we had all the things which we need to be a urban place or to be a civilized human being. So we have the fire, wheel, potteries, metals, crops. We had learned to grow crops, we learned to store crops. So all these things which a human beings need, we got invented and discovered somehow. What happened next? In today's video, we are going to discuss about two northwestern excavated sites, which was the Dholavira or the Lothal. Previously, we have discussed about the Mohenjo-daro, about the Harappa city, and now today we will be discussing about these two studies in our case study of Lothal and Dholavira, which is in northwest area. As I am saying that it is in northwest area, so you should be understanding that on which part of India I am talking about. So definitely I am talking about north and west. Northwest, it means we can say the areas near of Gujarat, right? So in this area, the Dholavira part is being excavated near the Gujarat in run of Kutch, right? Northwest. Lothal is also somehow equivalent in northeast area of India. So in Dholavira, what we have find out that it has been also flourished between around 2500 years ago. We had find out those traces which tells us that these sites were also an important and an integral part of the Harappan civilization. Why? Because mostly we have seen the cities were divided into two parts, the upper part and the lower part, in which we have seen that the upper part was called the citadel, in which the ruling classes and the producing classes were living over there. And on the other hand, if we talk about the lower classes, so we have seen that in lower classes, all those peoples or the common peoples, craftsmen, traders, merchants was living over there, right? So mostly our city was divided into two parts, but in Dholavira our archaeologists have been excavated the three parts of the city. Now what were the three parts? They have find a entrance, they have find a entrance with a gateway. Along with that, they have find out a ceremonial hall in which they have seen that there was a space in which many kinds of ceremonies can be taken place. So ceremonies area also they have find it out, and after that the town, lower town. So this was the speciality of the Dholavira. Of which we had to discuss about that it was divided into three parts especially, and the main feature of it was the that ceremonial place which had been excavated, right? Now, if we discuss about the Lothal. So, if we discuss about the Lothal, so Lothal had also been a very center of attraction, especially for the trade, right? Especially for the trade, as we know that Lothal was situated at the bank of the river, right? Or you can say that there was a Gulf of Khambhat, right? The Gulf of Khambhat. So just because of it, their sea trade can be flourished. Sea trade जो है वो काफी अच्छे से flourish कर सकता था. So that had been flourished. We have seen that in Harappan civilization that the citizens or the peoples of that time had also learned how to trade with the another one or with another country. They had established their trade with the Iran, Afghanistan, and it's not about Afghanistan, but yes, yeah, Iran and even Karnataka also. So they have started to trade between the countries. उन्होंने एक country के दूसरी country के साथ जो है state establish कर लिए थे, right? Okay. So now we will see why it is important for us in terms of history. History के terms में ये क्यों important है? So just because of its dockyard, we have find out, our archaeologists had find out in their excavation that in Lothal we had the dockyard. I already have told you and explained you what is that dockyard. Dockyard is a place in which the boats and ships can halt, right? जो जिस तरह हमारा एयरपोर्ट होता है प्लेन्स के लिए, रेलवे स्टेशन होता है ट्रेन के लिए, dockyard is as similar as for the boats and ships. So we have find out that Lothal was the very first dockyard in the Harappa civilization or in our India civilization, in which we also had find out the granaries, the big granaries, the big storehouses, with the help of which we can come to know that all those things which came from another country must be stored over there or must be taken care at that place. So in that point of view, Lothal dockyard or Lothal had been important for us. There was also many important cities like Kalibangan also we have discussed about that, but it is not given in your chapter, so we will be discussing about in our next chapter. And all those things which were important, which we already have discussed about. Now let's have a very quick look of our flowchart. On page number 45, you have been given a flowchart. So we will see that in a flowchart we have seen the contemporary civilization. Okay, so there is a word given contemporary. What is the meaning of the word contemporary? As we are discussing about in India, that before 2500 years or around 2500 years, this kind of civilization was flourishing in India. So definitely in other parts of the world also some kind of activities must have been taken place. So the contemporary means समकालीन या same time पे contemporary. So at that time when the Harappan civilization was flourished in India, there was some contemporary civilization which was also flourished in another part of the world. So let's get started to discuss about them. The first one is the Harappan civilization or the Indus Valley civilization, modern day Pakistan, right? So Pakistan had been separated from India in 1947 after the independence. We knew it. Before that it was a part of India. So we will see that in India it was flourishing. The second one is the Mesopotamian civilization, modern day Iraq. Iraq की जो Mesopotamian civilization है, that is also contemporary to us. The Egyptian civilization in Egypt and the Huanghe River Valley civilization, China. Right? So all those civilization was contemporarily flourishing along with us. After that, we have given a flow chart in which we have seen that Indus Valley civilization 2500 BC to 1500 BC evolved along the Indus River and its tributaries. We have discussed about it in detail. Major cities were the Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Chanudro, Lothal, Banavali, Kot Dilji, Doliwara, Alamgiri, Kalibangan and Rupar. What was the special features? We have discussed about that. Well-planned towns, covered drainage system, wide street, great bath, granaries, social classes, agriculture, flourishing trade and commerce, pictographic script and nature worship. We have discussed all these things one by one. सारी चीजों को हम एक के बाद एक discuss already कर चुके हैं. Decline, we also had discussed about the declination. So around 1500 BC it was declined. Maybe natural calamities was the reason, climatic change can be the reason, or possible massacre, maybe invasions हुए हों कुछ, और shift in course of the Indus river, और possibly कि जो नदी का जो पानी है बहाव है उसके कुछ सेटअप से भी चीजें जो है वो ये सिविलाइजेशन डिक्लाइन हो गई होगी. सो दे आर वी डज नॉट हैव एनी particular or exact information about it. So today we have completed our journey with the very first chapter, very first city of ours. Now in our next chapter we will be discussing about the Vedic civilization, but before that I will provide you the question answers so soon, and please try to find out the question answers. Thank you so much. Keep reading, keep learning, beta.